The year was 1864. America, the land of opportunity, was a nation fractured. The Civil War raged, pitting brother against brother. Yet, amidst this national turmoil, another conflict festered in the West. On the vast Great Plains, a different kind of battle was brewing, one that would leave an indelible scar on the American conscience. The story of the Sand Creek Massacre is not just a tale of conflict, but a stark reminder of the cost of unchecked ambition and the enduring power of the human spirit. It is a story that needs to be told, remembered and understood if we are to learn from the mistakes of the past. This is the story of Sand Creek. For generations, the Cheyenne and Arapaho people lived in harmony with the land. The vast expanse of the Great Plains was their home, their lifeblood. They were a nomadic people, their lives intertwined with the ebb and flow of the seasons, the thundering herds of buffalo, and the whispering wind that carried the stories of their ancestors. The Cheyenne, known for their skilled horsemen and fierce warriors, held their traditions close. The Arapaho, known for their intricate beadwork and deep spiritual connection to the land, shared a similar reverence for the natural world. Together, they formed a vibrant community, their lives a testament to the delicate balance between humanity and nature. Their world, however, was about to be irrevocably changed. The arrival of European settlers, with their insatiable hunger for land and resources, disrupted the delicate balance of the plains. As more and more settlers pushed westward, encroaching upon their ancestral lands, tensions between the Cheyenne and Arapaho and the newcomers escalated. Treaties were signed, promises were made, but the ink on these agreements was often as fleeting as the wind that swept across the plains. The Cheyenne and Arapaho, seeking peace, agreed to relocate to designated reservations. They believed the U.S. government would honor its promises of protection and provisions. However, the reality was far different. The reservations were often desolate, the promised supplies meager and unreliable. The settlers, driven by a belief in their own manifest destiny, continued to encroach upon Native American lands. The cries of the Cheyenne and Arapaho for justice, for fairness, for the simple right to exist on their own land, fell on deaf ears. The stage was set for a tragedy that would forever stain the history of the American West. Amid growing fear and uncertainty, Black Kettle, a Cheyenne chief known for his advocacy for peace, sought a solution. He believed that dialogue, not violence, was the path forward. He led his people to Fort Lyon, a military outpost in Colorado Territory, seeking protection and reassurance from the U.S. government. Following the guidance of the fort's commander, Black Kettle moved his band to a designated area along Sand Creek. He believed they were under the protection of the U.S. Army. To demonstrate their peaceful intentions, they flew an American flag and a white flag of truce above their camp. Their trust, however, would be tragically misplaced. The flags, symbols of peace and hope, stood in stark contrast to the storm that was about to break. The whispers of peace would soon be drowned out by the deafening roar of gunfire. Section 5. Dawn of Deceit, Chivington's Assault. Unbeknownst to Black Kettle and his people, a different kind of force was approaching Sand Creek. Led by Colonel John Chivington, a Methodist preacher turned military commander, a force of Colorado volunteers was on the move. Driven by a thirst for vengeance and fueled by the prevailing prejudice against Native Americans, Chivington had his own plans. Chivington and his men, many of whom were gold prospectors and former Indian fighters, harbored a deep-seated animosity towards the Cheyenne and Arapaho. They disregarded the peace talks, the treaties, and the flags of truce. In their eyes, all Native Americans were enemies, obstacles to be removed in the relentless march westward. As the sun cast its golden rays across the plains on that fateful November morning, Chivington's men prepared for their assault. They approached Sand Creek, not as peacekeepers but as executioners. Their mission was not to protect but to punish, to eradicate, to make a statement in blood. Section 6. The horror unfolds. Massacre at Sand Creek. The tranquility of the encampment at Sand Creek was shattered by the deafening roar of cannon fire. The peaceful morning erupted into a scene of unimaginable chaos and terror. Chivington's men, fueled by hate and a sense of impunity, descended upon the unsuspecting village. Men, women, and children, caught completely off guard, ran for their lives. Their desperate pleas for mercy were met with a hail of bullets. The soldiers showed no restraint, no compassion. They fired indiscriminately into the fleeing crowd. The sand ran red with the blood of innocents, the air, thick with the acrid smell of gunpowder and the anguished cries of the wounded, bore witness to the depravity of the attack. The soldiers, their faces contorted in a grotesque parody of humanity, moved through the camp, killing, maiming, and desecrating. Section 7. A Nation's Conscience. Outrage and Investigation. Word of the Sand Creek Massacre spread like wildfire, igniting a firestorm of outrage and condemnation across the nation. Even in the midst of the Civil War, the brutality inflicted upon the Cheyenne and Arapaho at Sand Creek shocked the conscience of many Americans. Newspapers across the country condemned the massacre as a barbaric act, a stain on the honor of the nation. The public outcry was loud and clear. This was not the way wars were supposed to be fought, not against innocent people who had been promised peace. Congressional investigations were launched, testimony was heard. The horrific details of the massacre, the indiscriminate killing of women and children, the mutilation of bodies sent shockwaves through the nation. The nation was forced to confront a chilling truth. The very people entrusted with protecting its citizens were capable of unspeakable atrocities. Section 8. Scars on the Soul. The enduring legacy of Sand Creek. The Sand Creek Massacre left an indelible mark on the Cheyenne and Arapaho people. Generations have carried the trauma of that day, the pain passed down through stories, songs, and the sacred act of remembrance. The massacre shattered their trust in the U.S. government, a wound that continues to heal even today. The massacre at Sand Creek was not an isolated incident. It was a tragic chapter in a much larger story of westward expansion, a story marked by broken treaties, forced removals, and the systematic erasure of Native American cultures. The legacy of Sand Creek serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of prejudice, of the dangers of unchecked power, and of the importance of remembering even the darkest chapters of our history. Section 9. Remembering Sand Creek. A testament to humanity. Today, the site of the Sand Creek Massacre stands as a solemn reminder of the past. It is a place of reflection, of healing, and of remembrance. It is a place where the stories of the victims are told, their lives honored, and their memories kept alive. The descendants of the Cheyenne and Arapaho people, along with those who seek to learn from the mistakes of the past, gather at Sand Creek each year to commemorate the massacre. They come to remember, to honor, and to ensure that the lessons of Sand Creek are never forgotten. Remembering Sand Creek is not about dwelling on the past, but about learning from it. It is about acknowledging the injustices inflicted upon Native Americans and working towards a future where such atrocities are never repeated. It is about honoring the resilience of the human spirit, even in the face of unimaginable tragedy. The story of Sand Creek is a story that must be told, not just for the sake of the past, but for the hope of a better future, a future where the echoes of gunfire are replaced by the whispers of peace, understanding, and reconciliation.